What's up, cooking peeps? We just got back from the Zwilling warehouse sale that was in Philadelphia/New Jersey. And we got some amazing stuff at that sale. So today we're going to talk about the sale. A lot of buzz has been going on about this sale. And I'll talk to you about our experience, and we'll also take a look at everything I got. My receipt says that I saved $832. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So, it's been 2 days since the sale, and I'm still kind of recovering a little bit. It was quite a drive. It was like 4 hours each direction, and we did this map.
Not counting the traffic on the way back.
Yeah, so we did this like zoom up, zoom back. 4 hours the night before. We stayed in a hotel, and then we went to the sale. After the sale, I was like ready for a nap, right? But then we had 4 hours back in the car.
And that wasn't 4 hours. It was 5+.
Oh yeah, because of the traffic, right?
Traffic.
So, and I think I caught a little bit of a cold or something going on. So, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if we got a cold. The weather's changing.
Yeah, and I feel a little.
We had a freeze warning the other day.
Sniffly.
Well, Amy's brought out the shopping cart. That means only one thing.
Yeah.
Our bank account's empty. But
Not quite, but yeah.
But we saved money though doing it.
Yeah, we saved money. So we saved $800 something, and it was like, if I didn't go, I would have saved much more, right? So we got to the sale, and my first reaction was, oh my, because it was in a former Bye Bye Baby, in a shopping center, a Bye Bye Baby that had closed. So that's sort of like a, Babies R Us, Bed Bath & Beyond kind of thing.
And this was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Yeah, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right across the river from Philadelphia.
It's inland a little. It's a relatively fancy town because they had Mercedes dealers, they had a Whole Foods.
Yeah, they had all kinds of stuff. I was like, Wegmans, isn't it right?
Because you had a
we live in the middle.
You had all kinds of.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff there.
Yeah.
So when we got there, the line was like wrapped all around the shopping center. And I was like, I don't want to wait in line. I got a bad knee. I don't want to stand out there for an hour, right? Let's go get some breakfast. And Eric was like, let's just park and I'll wait in line. So by the time we went around, we parked, it had opened and all those people flooded in. So there was no line by the time we got there. So that was great.
Yeah.
So they had everything organized in like sections. So they had, when you first went in, it was like all the knives. Then it was these tables that they called the treasure hunt. And it was basically, I don't know if they're necessarily scratch and dent, but they were like 40% off. They had mainly Staub on there. They had some woks. They had whatever, right? They had some big, huge bins, like those bins that when you go to a department store and they're filled with balls. Like you go to Walmart and they're like this kind of wire material and they're huge and they put like bouncy balls in there. They had those things filled with the scratch and dent. So they had saute pans and stock pots, and they had regular fry pans in like two, and then they had one filled with lids. It was $29 and then $4.99 for the lid. So you had to dig. So it was like dive in. There was so many people digging through there. I got a few things out of there, but only after I went back to it because it was like people are right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, when I was young, I would have dove in.
Oh, you would have elbowed them.
Right. I wasn't in the mood for that. So I just came back to that. So as you went around, they had across the back, they had sets. They had Demeyere was down the middle in there. They had some pallets full of Staub. And then around the other side of the store, this other side of the store was like all their electrics, like toasters and all that fun stuff, right? So you ask, where was I with these treasure tables. So I went in there thinking there was a few pieces of stove that I might want. I wanted the Smitten Kitchen brazier. It's bigger than the regular brazier, and it has like the Nike swoop looking things instead of the dots on the lid. I wanted one of those, and I also wanted something in grenadine and something in Demeyere, right? So when I went over to that table, I think they had 2 Smitten Kitchen braziers, but there were people standing around and they were gone, right? They were, what was on that table was pretty limited. The stove, if you think you're going to go to this sale and have like stove everywhere, that was not the case. There were some, it was good pricing. I don't think that treasure table was all that great of a price because they had like 40% off of the regular, like highest retail price it would be. So I don't know if you could get Black Friday sales that would be maybe just as good. I don't know.
Williams-Sonoma could beat that probably.
Yeah. The pallets of stove that they had were like all one color. So they would have one shape, all one color, and they had maybe 4 or 5 of those. So they had some 4-quart matte black. They had a blue that was like a wide. They had the pink 7-quart Dutch oven, and they had something that I got, and I'll show you that, off of those pallets. So one of the disappointments I had was, I just came off of going to the FFT, where they have a expo center, conference center, absolutely chock full of colors and pieces and all this stuff.
75,000 pieces.
Yeah. And when I went there, that cell isn't as big as that, but there wasn't a lot of Staub. And I was there for Staub and knives, straight up, and cookware, right? There was a lot of electrics and stuff. Not too many people were looking at all those. We were there for knives, cookware, and Staub.
We were in and out in 90 minutes minus having to pay for the stuff.
Yeah. So the knives were pretty good. They had a lot of their lower end lines. Like they had 2-3 big old rows. They had them in these bins. They only had like 1 row of the super ultra high ends, like the high end Miyabis. They only had 1 birchwood, which was a 9.5-inch Kritsuke. They had some Zwilling Pro, but not a ton. And it was mostly a lot of the other lower end lines. So that was that. They had some Demeyere pieces, but not a huge amount.
No.
They had some sets of cookware that are really good. I mean, I should have got one of these Guantanium or whatever that is, that nonstick fry pan set. I have those. That's Eric's favorite fry pan. And I thought I was going to get another one, but I just didn't because they had some in that scratch and dent. But I think by the time we got back to it, they were gone. And then the set was like the 12, 10, and 8, which I don't really want the 8. So I don't know.
So the bad part, if you're going to compare this to Le Creuset had plenty of people to ask, hey, do you need anything? It was well organized. They had...
Yeah, so in terms of the shopping experience, right, they had employees in there. They were all friendly. They had like this check-in service that you can get a ticket and they would put it back and then you could keep putting stuff in there. And then when you were going to the register, they would get the stuff for you. The main challenge I have, it wasn't like the FFT or even the USA Pan. FFT brings in shopping carts. Like they have big Costco kind of shopping carts. They must bring them in on a semi. You go in there, you have a big, huge shopping cart. As you get tired, you can lean on the sucker, right?
Because there's no place to sit.
Yeah. They didn't have any shopping carts. They gave you these bags which kind of made it challenging because when you put a couple heavy things in there, like we were in the back of the store and I was like, I want this piece of cast iron, but we were both so exhausted by that point. It was like, we got to lug this thing up front, right? I think that was the biggest challenge. I didn't feel like I got to move around the sale quite as much. You know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, right?
Plus, this is the other thing Amy does. Depending upon how crowded and busy it is, it's critical that you throw your stuff into a shopping cart and then you pull off the
sort it.
And then you sort it. You cry over what you feel guilty about buying.
Some people were doing that because I saw that over on the side.
That's where you start seeing some odd-shaped things off on the side. That's because people took it out of their car.
Yeah, then you go back and you pick that, right?
Yeah.
That was the biggest challenge to me is if you're going to go to one of these, bring your own like foldable shopping cart. You can get those things all over the place. Yeah, if I would have known that, I would have got one of those.
Or go down to Whole Foods. It's only about 10 stores away. Go steal one of their carts.
Yeah, I don't know if they would like that, right?
Oh, I didn't say that.
That was the biggest challenge. So the actual shopping experience was slightly challenging because we didn't have carts. And so by the time we got to check out, the line was just AWOL.
The same line that was wrapped around the outside.
Now they were all at the register.
On the inside of the store.
So what we did is I had given them, I got a ticket. We put it all in the hold. We went and got lunch, came back. All that was cleared out, and then we were able to pay. So one of the good things about them putting it on hold is I can wait till the line dies down. Okay, so the pricing. The pricing was good on some things. I think I got a great deal on some knives, some cookware that were in that, rock'em sock'em bins. One thing I can say is you would not go to this sale thinking you're going to get high-end cookware at this rock bottom price. Like you see
this is not a USA Pan sale.
No, this is not a USA Pan sale. USA Pan, you go in there and you'll pay $8 for low pans, $5, $10, like that. And they have huge straight off the machine, things. This is not a sale like that. I think you get a great price over an outlet store or their online outlet, and over a regular store. But don't think you're going to go here and there's going to be $10, bargain bins, and there's going to be, that you're going to come out with a rack of stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bags, and you don't even want to know how much I spent on those 4. These 4 cost me $1,200. So normally it would have been,
well, at $800, it's $2,000.
yeah, it would have been $2,000.
But I'm not paying $2,000. I would have saved $1,200.
Yeah, at the regular price, I would have saved the entire amount because I would have went, right? But I did get some great things. There's something in there that Eric got that we got a second one because he bought one for my birthday for $150 and we got it for $50. So, right? So the other issue was really check your receipt because I brought the car over and Eric had all the stuff sitting in front and he gave me the receipt and I looked down in it and I know that I grabbed 2 pots out of that grab and go bin that were $29 a piece. And I looked at the receipt and I'm like, they charged me for 3. So they overcharged me basically $30. So Eric went in there and they gave him a credit back, right? But now that I'm home, I bought this book. It's like the history of Staub. It's not really a cookbook. It's more like their design and all that.
A lot of pretty pictures.
Yeah. And that book was like $35 or $39. There was a sign there. Well, I look at my receipt. They charged me $75. So there goes another $30, right? So they're talking about almost overcharging me $60. So you really have to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call their customer service number about this other because I wouldn't have paid $75 for that book. So that I definitely know was not $75. It was 30 something. So I called their outlet store that's nearby and they were they were fumbly, right? So I'm going to call their customer service and see what they're going to do about that. So you want to start?
Let the games begin.
Let the games begin. I don't think that's a Zwilling problem. I don't think they like do that. But when Eric went up there, the cashier was in training.
Yeah, there's two ladies, and there was just, a young lady, and she kind of acted like she didn't know what she was doing. The other lady says, oh, let's organize it this way. That way we can put stuff in the bag and get it out of the way. And maybe because there's so much stuff in front of her, she lost track about what she already entered. And they weren't scanning barcodes. They were putting in numbers.
Yeah.
So if the numbers were not in their system, then they had to send somebody to the back of the store to go find what we bought. And I think on occasion, they might have picked the wrong item.
Yeah. So that's an issue. Yeah. So let the games begin. Ding. Okay, let the games begin, right? So the bags that they give you are these.
Well,
you have to give them back, but you can buy them. They were $3.99 each. So I bought 2 of these. They're nice bags. They're like shopping bags. I just got them as a souvenir.
Yeah, because all this other stuff is not a souvenir, right?
But they're $3. So let's start with
mystery bag number 1.
Let's start with those bins that you have to physically almost dive into and dig it out. These things were giant bouncy ball bins that they had lids in one, cookware in the other 2. So they had all kinds of different things. Stock pots, mainly saute pans, and some other kind of pans, right? So the first one that I got that they put my claim sticker on was this. This is a Henckels, obviously tri-ply, gas electric, halogen, 1810 stainless steel pan, right? I have no idea what the retail of this is. The reason I kind of liked it is I like these pour spouts here. When I'm like doing something greasy or something, I can pour off those, the
grease.
Yeah. So this is Henckels, right? I thought this was a really cool pan. I have a ton of saute pans, but I just had to go there, right?
Now we can pour our gravy and not waste any, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I really had to dig to find the lid for this because there was a lot of lids, like every other size but the size of this. I think this might be, is this a 10-inch?
I don't know.
Saute? So I did find the lid. The lid was $4.99. Really nice, heavy duty. This is a beautiful pan, right? Stick the lid on right there. Pour your grease out. You got the spout there. I thought this was really nice.
So $35 with lid.
Yeah. I mean, there are cheaper saute pans out there, but this is a really nice one. And while I was in that bin, I got his friend. This is a Henckels, but it's their hybrid. So this is like a hex-clad kind of knockoff pan that's sort of like stainless nonstick, right? It's ceramic nonstick in here, but that's low and it's higher where the stainless, I think this is like, it's sort of like the concept that the Circulon used to have, right? Except Circulon was like high-low. It was all nonstick. This is like high-low, but stainless and nonstick, right?
We have a pure clad pan that we'll be doing a test on pretty soon.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a test on some pure clad. So this too is a Henckels, really nice. No disc on the bottom, tri-ply. I don't think it's 5-ply. It doesn't weigh like that. And it uses the same lid. So I had to dig in there to find a second lid. Right? Very nice. This doesn't have the pour spouts on them.
Aw.
But very nice. So back in that bin, I got a matching frying pan. This is a 10-inch frying pan in that same hybrid. I think this is kind of interesting because the lid from this fits onto this.
We're trying to get rid of our old Teflon pans.
Yeah.
You've had Circulon forever, and it still hasn't destroyed itself.
Yeah.
And we feel bad because it works, but it's bad for you.
Yeah, we're slowly phasing those out. But here is this. Really nice. I couldn't find a third lid. I wanted a separate lid for this, but I was digging in there so much and I was like, right. They had one in there because the bin was huge. I didn't want to be bothered by looking through that. So I got 2 pieces of this. This one here was $4.99.
$4.99. Wow. So that is a deal.
This is a deal, right?
But would I drive 200 miles for it, though?
No.
No.
Okay, so the next thing I got was some ballerini. They have Zwilling has a few brands, obviously. Ballerini is one of them. It's cookware and equipment made in Italy. And so I saw this and I almost thought they looked like kind of stir-fry pans. Maybe not. They're a little deeper. This is what they look like here. I think this set retails for like $2.99. And
we got it for like $79.
Yeah. So this is a 3-piece cookware set. They're fry pans. And they have this thing called thermal point technology. So it has their Grantanium coating, the same coating on it that Eric loves, the Grantanium fry pans. That's his favorite fry pans. These have the same coating as those have on it. And it has like this little sensor thing. So when you put the pan on there, it's like green. It's on the handle. And when the pan is hot, it turns red. Kind of interesting. Eric loves those Grantanium pans.
It's big. It's got plenty of room.
Those are not ballerini. Those are Zwilling, I think. Maybe.
I was too cheap. They had a 3-piece set. I was too cheap to buy it.
So here is our info pamphlet. Register your product. And so, wow, these are nicely weighted. When you first see them, you think they're like these cheap,
anodized aluminum, maybe, like really lightweight.
Little lightweight discount store kind of pans. No, these are substantial, like the Grantanium. So this is a little 8-inch. I don't use 8 inches that much. That's one reason at times I'm like, I don't really buy like these 3-piece skillet sets because I don't use the 8-inch.
It's like a throwaway pan.
Yeah. But I don't know. I could.
You can do like an
Here's the 11. Nice. These are really nice. Oh no, this is the 10.
It's 8, 10, and 12.
So this must be the 12. These are very well weighted. Not like you look at them and you think there's like these little junky things. Mm-hmm. These are really nice. Mm-hmm. They have screwed on handles, but so this is the little indicator here. I'm going to see if that works. You put it on the stove and this thing turns red and tells you that the pan is hot. Mm. These are really nice. These are really nice. Feel these, boo. I think you're going to like these. He loves the Grantanium.
Yeah, they're not heavy, but they do have weight to them.
Yeah, they're substantial.
I don't know. Make me some spaghetti sauce, boo.
I think he's going to like these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I did get some Demeyere, and I did buy a very unique piece. So this is called plancha. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's a teppanyaki / plancha. And one of the interesting things of this is it's basically a griddle, right? And this thing is amazing. They don't really sell it here in the US. They did for a short time. They mainly sell it over in Europe, and this thing is like $500 over there. This is similar to the Atlantis line. So it's like 7-ply stainless steel. It's probably the best that you can get. Straight up. It's got Silvanox which is their proprietary, not a coating, but it's like built into the stainless steel. It's simple and easy to clean. It is, when you're talking about if you want to buy the highest end and the best cookware out there, I would send you to Demeyere and I would send you to Atlantis. And also their Pro 7 ply. That's what this is. I paid $99 for this. And Eric looked at it like, what? Soon as I saw this, because I saw this on Zwilling's website some time ago, and I was like, whoa, look at that baby. And when I saw this sitting there on that treasure hunt table, they had the small one, this is a medium, and they had a really large one. I was like, I'm getting that baby. That's what this is. This, I think, out of all the things we've got, there's a ton of stuff that I love. I think this is one of my favorite out of the pieces we got. This is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, a plancha. Is an absolutely beast of a griddle. 7 ply, if you can look and see. Look at how thick that baby is. Woo, right?
It's like 4 millimeters and it weighs like 8 pounds. So even though it's mostly aluminum.
Well, it's stainless. It's aluminum on the inside.
Yeah, but you got a lot of aluminum on the inside, but still it's heavy.
It is heavy.
It's crazy.
Wow. This thing is beautiful.
Yeah.
So back to the notorious book. This is not a cookbook. This is called Staub, 50 Years of Flavor and Love. The other brand has one for them. I think this is out of print now. See how that in there says $29? My receipt was charged $75. Yeah, I wouldn't have bought it for that. But this is not a cookbook. It's a book.
It's a history book.
Yeah, it's a history of the brand. This is going to be fun, and the pictures are amazing. So if you're a geek over cookware like I am, you will. This is drool worthy. I don't think you can really get these because I looked. Even used ones on eBay are going for almost $90. So it's a coffee table book about the brand. So much fun to me, right? Mm-hmm. So I picked that baby up. Okay, so I bought 3 things that when I got home, I was like, why did I buy these? But I did. So, first thing I got.
The buyer's remorse, boo-boo, ever?
These were like 20. Well, Eric pimped this to me because he was like, oh, you can get the salt and pepper grinder. So I went over there and grabbed them. I did get one at the FTT, but I'll probably use some of these downstairs for the new studio kitchen. So this is the spice mill. Can I put nutmeg in this? I'm assuming.
Well, does it actually, what size stuff does it go on? That's the question.
I don't know. Ooh, it's pretty sweet looking. Look at that.
Yeah.
A designer mill. So it looks like it's on top. I kind of like these when it's on top because it doesn't get like the plate or whatever you have it sitting on. It doesn't end up getting the spice all over that. So I guess you do that. How do you fill it? Lock, unlock. Oh, okay.
Or yellow.
So you fill it right in there. Can I put nutmeg in there? Okay, so we got that. This doesn't go on very easily.
No.
I guess it just sits like that. And we got the salt and pepper. These are really sweet looking. So there's no salt in this. It says this time. I was like, they only have, ooh, these are pretty nice. They're kind of soft feeling.
Is it like rubber coated or something?
I don't know. It's pretty groovy though. This is Papa. Those are pretty neat looking. have sort of like they're black, but they have an interesting aura to them because I think maybe that rubbery, I don't know. I don't know how to take this lid off. I'll have to figure that out.
I don't know, read the directions. Throwing them away.
These are pretty cool looking, huh?
Yeah.
They kind of glow. Okay, so funny thing about this item. Eric got me one of these for my birthday. It was $150. And I saw it there at the sale, and I told him that it was $49, and he sort of brushed it off. And when he went back in there to pay, I think he swooped around to see if there was anything other fun he wanted to get.
Well, we were looking for steak knives that weren't serrated.
Yeah, I want a set of steak knives that don't have serrations. The ones that I have, just flat edge. The ones that I have are
just straight metal, like they're like Cuisinart or something. The problem
but they're old and they're not good.
The problem was the only knives that they had there that weren't the cheap stamped ones, like the Gourmet brand, was the Pros.
Serrated.
The Pros were like $300 or more. They were incredible. It was like so we didn't get any.
25% off.
The what? Oh, yeah. If I decide I want to go back to New Jersey, then what? I can save 25% off?
So, yeah, we're not driving all that back there. Yeah, so this is this the same color? Yeah. So this is for my beautiful knives. This is a magnetic knife thing. So this was like $100 off. This is nice. Woo!
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, it's Miyabi. It's made in Japan.
Yeah, it's a Miyabi knife block.
It's beautiful.
And he has a friend. This is his friend. You remember this? Mm-hmm. So I got another one. This is going to be awesome. Number one, I can use one downstairs, one upstairs. Or when we do knife geeking, we can use it. So far I have on here, this is my birchwood. Miyabi birchwood. Mm-hmm. This is a Nakiri. These are Enzo. This is a Kritsuke. Ooh, and this is a prep knife. I keep forgetting. I think you're supposed to go this way with it. It has a very strong magnet. Mm-hmm. So it's time for us to load this baby up with some new knives. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have one knife. This is a Miyabi. We have a knife here. This is a Miyabi. We have a knife here. This is a Miyabi. We have a knife here. This is a Zwilling Pro. And I have something else here that I'm going to leave in there.
No, this is a good challenge. Because if Jeff actually watches, he gets to see his Christmas present. But what's the chances he won't watch? And I'm not going to say anything. We're not going to Facebook him, so everybody be quiet. This is a test to see if our own family watches our show.
Okay. So let's start with the Zwilling. This is a Zwilling Rocking Santoku. This knife is amazing. This was $92. I love this knife. This I think is one of my favorite knives. So this knife is about 58 on the Rockwell scale. That means it's a great all-purpose knife. Because when you start getting higher, it becomes sharper, the blades are thinner, and you can chip them. Well, when it's lower,
the edge lasts longer.
Yeah, the edge lasts longer, but you can chip them. You have to be careful what you cut.
They're more brittle, so stay away from bones.
Lower on the Rockwell scale, they get softer. You have to sharpen them more often, but you start getting into things like even lower, you can cleavers, whatever.
More durable.
Yeah. Are you ready to see? Ooh, look at that bad boy. So this is interesting because it's called the Rocking Santoku. It's a hybrid knife. It's a way to take a flat, what's normally a flat this really isn't even a Santoku. I don't even know why. A lot of manufacturers are doing that because Santoku, everybody wants a Santoku, right? But also everybody rocks, or a lot of people rock.
It's a German knife.
Yeah, so they call these Santokus, they're not really, right? It's got a K-tip on it, because a Santoku would have a bird's beak tip and it would come by and it would be straight, right? But a lot of people like that Santoku, right? So this is a Zwilling Pro. It's made in Germany. It's fully forged. It's sharp as all heck, but it also has some of the properties of a chef's knife that gives you a little bit more softness than you would out of a Japanese knife, that allows you to, it's a really versatile knife. It has this combination of, how do you get like the soft robustness of a German knife, and you want the characteristics of a really sharp Japanese knife,
Japanese would probably be thinner at a more aggressive angle, right?
Yeah. Woo. Oh my gosh. This knife, I really like it because it has just enough of a beefy handle on it to say that it's really comfortable. It's not a super thin handle that you feel like you don't quite have the control, but it also doesn't have this handle that's so
heavy,
bulbous and beefy that your hand tires out and just doesn't. This knives are like shoes, right? You got to try it on. Every time I try on this knife, I love it, right? It's one of my favorite knives. Slightly handle heavy, but you don't really judge a knife. Well, people out there saying you judge a knife because you want it to perfectly balance on the bolster, right? That's not necessarily true. There's a lot of great knives that are handle heavy. There's a lot of great knives that are blade heavy. It really depends on the knife, and it really depends on how it feels. This feels amazing to me, right? This knife feels amazing to me. I love this. So this is our Zwilling Zwilling Pro rocking Santoku.
Yay.
So we're now into Miyabi. So Miyabi is Japanese Knives. It's a company that was an independent company. It was bought out by Zwilling. It's still the Miyabi it was before Zwilling bought it. And these are Japanese knives. So they're going to be higher on the Rockwell, thinner, sharper, easier, keeps the sharpness a little longer.
You just have to care for them better.
Yeah, you have to be a little careful. But look at this.
You don't want to use a finger.
So this is an evolution. It is a Santoku. It is rocking. It is 61 on the Rockwell scale. So this comes in a little sharper, a little, wow.
What? What's the matter? German versus Asian. How they feel?
German handle.
Right.
Japanese handle.
Mm-hmm.
Similar blade profile. We have rocking Santoku. We got a K-tip kind of on each one. We have that belly on here. This one has a little deeper belly than this one. Different handle profile on the handle. Okay, but hold this one in your hand. That's how you can see that's a German handle.
Okay, fits my hand pretty good. Doesn't weigh a super amount, but it's got a little beefy to it.
Japanese handle, same regard.
Handle is maybe a little thinner, but it's really lightweight.
Yeah.
It's really lightweight.
This is actually a really nimble kind of knife.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nimble, beautiful. So it says...
I mean, I don't know if you do sushi with that, but you probably could. It's lightweight, though.
Yeah. It's a lot thinner. Really nice. So this is also a 400 FC series, which is the Evolution. This is a Nikiri.
Boo Boo wanted that
I
one.
wanted this one. I sent Eric back in there.
I go back to the store for that one.
He saw it and he was like, "Oh, look at this Nikiri." I was like, "Get it." Yeah. Look at that baby. So you have really beautiful handle. You have the red inlay in here like a Miyabi. Look at this baby. So we have a Nikiri, has kind of like a bird's beak. Usually Nikiris are just sawed off on the end.
You say it has a red inlay like a Miyabi. It is Miyabi.
Yeah, it is a Miyabi. It has a red inlay.
Do they all have red inlays?
Yeah, the Evolution does.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times, Miyabis will have like the handle shape is more like rounded, and the red inlay is at the end here in the end before the cap on the, yeah. Like
You bought that without even feeling it.
I didn't need to. I knew I wanted that.
If you guys remember us going to San Antonio, Amy was in there for like an hour handling like 5 or 6 knives.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to the full spectrum. We have the German handle. We have the Evolution handle with the red inlay. So now we're going to be going to the D-shape, more Japanese style handle with the red inlays at the bolster and the... So this is a Kaizen 7-inch, 5,000 DP Miyabi. You see, I was in my element over here, right? At the sale. Yeah, because if you go to the knife shop and you're paying $200 for a knife, and you come to the sale,
or $300 for the birchwood.
Yeah, the birchwood was how much?
$300 for the 8 and $400 for the 9.
But how much wood? They only had one birchwood, and it was a 9.5-inch Kuritsuke. And that's a little long for me. I am an 8-inch, 7-8-inch knife person. 9.5 is a little sword-like to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this is. This is a Kaizen, Damascus. Ooh, my gosh, this is a beautiful knife. This is a beautiful knife. So this is a rocking knife too. It does have a D-shaped, more Japanese style handle on it. And it has the red inlays at the butt of the knife and near the bolster. And it's cut like a Japanese. It's like, if you say this is a bolster and you still say this part is the bolster, some have full bolsters that go all the way down. Some have partial bolsters. The Zwilling Pro, you can see how the bolster is like, I kind of think of it like, would you say this is bolsterless? Some people say this is the bolster, right? And it's cut where there's like a...
Well, a lot of times the bolster gets in the way of the blade, so if you're trying to sharpen it, you can't because the bolster's in the way.
This is sort of where the handle comes to the knife, right? To the blade. And you see how they grind this like this? Because this is a great spot to put your fingers when you're doing a pinch grip. Mm-hmm. That's why these are really comfortable. These tend to be like, this is kind of a weird knife because you would say, since this has a D-shaped handle, it is cut here for your fingers to sit here on a pinch grip. You could do a push cut on this, but I would probably rock with it because that's what I do.
Can you show the butt of the handle? Does it have the kanji?
Yeah. So it has that on the end. So this has a rounded Japanese handle. I think this is right around 60, 61 Rockwell. Feel that, Boo, since you felt the more German.
Now, is this like micarta or whatever the heck they call it? So it's like
this knife is VG10. These other knives, I think, are a blend.
Once again, the handle is pretty thin. The handle doesn't really weigh a lot, but the knife borderline blade heavy, but it's relatively balanced though. But I don't think it weighs that much.
Yeah, it's a really light, nimble knife.
Yeah.
It does seem like it's slightly blade heavy, where this one is definitely, to me, handle heavy.
Yeah. That's pretty.
I can't balance it very well.
No.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful knife. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Woo.
Mm.
That's a beauty right there.
Well, yeah, but that's with friends though.
Totally with friends, right? Sure. Birchwood. This is a generic Nakiri. We have our Enzo. We have our Kaizen. We have our Evolutions. And we have the Zwilling Pro, which I put it backwards.
Right.
I think we got hooked up. I think we can do a test difference between the Evolution and the Kaizen.
I mean, that's probably where you got the bulk of your savings. I mean, we know there's an item coming up that you save some money.
Yeah.
Just because of the sheer cost of it. But these guys, I think you spent a lot, but you also saved a lot.
Yeah.
And basically, had it not been on sale, you would not have bought them.
Yeah, probably. Well,
you would have bought.
I wouldn't have bought them now.
But eventually.
So let me set up because we got Staub on the brain. Dun 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 dun. The grand finale.
Well, of sorts. There's an asterisk by that.
I have a second grand finale that I didn't get at the sale, but I got not at the sale, but in the mail.
So it's going to be a mystery box because Boo doesn't know what it is because Boo Boo snuck it in.
I didn't disclose that.
Oh.
So thank you, Boo. He carried this clear across that place for me.
Yeah.
Because there was no way I was going to be able to carry it across there.
Hell no.
Dun 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 dun. So what did I get? I got some Staub, right? This matches my original piece that I've ever had. My very first Dutch oven was this color. So this is called a chubby, a coquette chubby. It is 6.5. Was it 6?
I think it's 6 1/4, and it's an oval.
Yeah. And it is in. So it has these. I don't know how to pronounce these, but usually Staub has the dots on there. This has like a Nike symbol. I think it's called something that starts with a C. I don't know. It's called something like Just Dare or something like that. I can't pronounce it. I'm sure someone will tell me that I didn't pronounce it right. What color do you think it is? Nobody knows what was my very first piece of Staub. What color was it?
I don't know. Just look behind you.
Bisa! Look at that, baby. Ooh! I have a coquette, I have a gratin, and I have this one now. This is beautiful. It's wide, so it's not as high. Ooh, what do you think of that, Boo? I think there's something I might cook in this. Like very, very soon.
I know exactly what we're going to be cooking pretty soon.
So this lid, it doesn't have a lid like the original cocette that has, if I put it on straight, that has the like sunken in lid where you put ice on the top. This is a traditional kind of French oven kind of lid to it. But what's interesting about it is it has these as opposed to.
Well, it's still going to be
as opposed to this, which is your standard cot. See how You can put ice in the lid on this one. This is a 5, I think. But see how the traditional Staub basting is on this one?
Your new one looks like it's just a little shorter. It's not as tall.
Yeah. So it's called a wide, a chubby. I like that because you can get in there a little bit easier. It's wide.
Well, it just means that if you have a little oblong piece of meat,
Yeah.
fit in there really nicely, huh?
Yeah. Look at this baby. I love it.
So you saved a little money on that one.
Yeah, so this is normally like $4.50 and it was $1.99. That is amazing. So I do have something that came in the mail to go along with that for fall. Okay, this is grand finale part 2. Eric doesn't know about this finale.
Hey, I have no idea what this is.
I don't either. It just showed up one day.
There's a box near the front door, that's all I know.
Just showed up one day. Oh.
What? You're confused? You have multiple boxes that look alike?
I didn't. For a second. I thought maybe they gave me the wrong. So this is a STCOCC14 Cocette 24. I think it's 3.5 quart. Specialty piece. Very, very specialty piece. Look at that.
It's like a bell pepper.
What is that? Does it look like a bell pepper? Or does it look like a green pumpkin? Look at how beautiful this. This is small, but boy, howdy, it's cute.
Shocking, another pan.
This is adorable. This is the pumpkin in basil. Oh, look at that. This is cute. This is cute. Look at it.
So you bought this at an online
For their online clearance sale.
sale.
Came in for fall. The basil sold out. They have the colors, orange and the white one. But the basil was gone. And then it came back for like one day and then it was gone again. And that one day, I ordered it.
Mm.
This is a cutie pie. Look at that. Woo-hoo. It's sort of like the other one in that it's like around 3 quarts. It's a perfect pumpkin size. Look at that baby. Oh my gosh. I love it. So cooks, the question for you is, if the Zwilling warehouse sale comes to a town near you, are you going to go? I had a lot of fun. It was... The tough part of it is they didn't have any baskets. They didn't have a lot of Staub. I wish they had more Staub. Zwilling, pump up these sales. Get some Staub in there. Get more Demeyere. Get more of that, right? The higher end knives, they didn't have like a big selection. They had like the Perry knife and the Rocking Santoku. They had a couple of Nakuris. They didn't have like a line, right? So
they had more knife sets of their other brands than the Zwilling brand.
Yeah, so it was fun though. Fun, a whole lot of fun. So I just want to say hello to all the people that I saw at the sale. It was so much fun because people kept coming up to me and saying, "Hey, Amy," and it's like, it was a blast. Karen and Pete, it was great to meet you. I was just, and they probably saw me at my worst, right? Because I was like
deranged.
I was, knee deep in those barrels of cookware. And people would come up to me, and I was digging for lids, and they would say, "Hey, Amy." And I would be like, "No, right? See me at my worst. See me when I was crazy." It's all good, though. It was so nice meeting you all. If you're not in my Facebook, come on over there and join us in there in my Facebook group. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we have a lot of fun, right? Love cookware. We took the pan van down there. We just had a blast, right? It was sort of voom voom kind of trip.
Is that the new name?
That is the official name of my new van. I'll give you. It's not a new van. It's new to me, but it's perfect for pan hunting, right? I'll give you a little picture of my little pan van up here. Pan van, we went down there and we conquered the Zwilling warehouse sale. I'm so glad to meet all of you that I got to meet at that sale. Maybe we can hook up another time and have another little pan fun. If you're in the Facebook group, if you went to that sale, tell me what you got, right? Post pictures in there. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned. We're going to cook in this pumpkin.